Hi everyone, hope everyone's doing great. Today is April 10th, 2026, and I just wanted to come on and share some of my recent hauls. And I'm going to go ahead and start with Hobby Lobby. This is the second time I record this. Something went wrong with the first one, so I'm going to try to go a little bit faster. So I hope I'm not going too fast. So I needed to purchase some sewing items, quilting items. So I stopped at Hobby Lobby and I was hoping that they had their batting on sale, and they did. So that was the thing that I was most focused on. So I did get 2 yards of this Warm and White. It's made in the USA. And I like this because it is fairly thin, and I just like to use that on my projects. And I like that it's white. I have several of the natural colored batting, but sometimes if either your background or some of your uh, focus print is white, then that natural batting will show through, and it just creates a different look. So I just wanted to make sure I had the white. I also bought some of this Pellon to use on some of my sewing projects, and I think it's fusible fleece, and I think it's Crafty Crafts by Deanna or Dina. Uses that fusible fleece for some of her projects, so I thought I'd give it a try. And then because I am planning to make more project bags, and here's an example. This is my first project bag ever, and what I did with this one is I repurposed an old quilt. What happened was I purchased a quilt and washed it, and all the batting jumbled up because it was just quilted like 2 center lines. That was it. And so I really couldn't use it that way, so I had to take it apart. And this part here was part of a pillow. It was one of those quilts that you can fold up and make into a pillow. So I really love the print. It's a great summer print. And this was on the back. So I just quilted everything and used it as part of my project bag. It's my first one ever, so I'm really proud of it. I bought this netting at Hobby Lobby, but it's too thin, so any kind of sharp object can create a tiny little hole. So I ended up resolving that by just adding some lace trim there where the hole was, and I've just been careful, and it's worked out pretty well. But I do want to make some other project bags, and that's why I bought that fusible fleece. So I think the fusible fleece was $7.98. Um, the batting was $13.29 a yard, and then I also bought some of this Insel Bright. And what I want to do is create some draft stoppers for the winter season. So looking forward to using that. And so that one ended up being $4.19. So that was, I thought, a very good price. I also bought some things on some remnants. I purchased this clear vinyl, and originally it's $4.99. I got it for $3.49, and I think it was 5/8 of a yard. So that's good also for the project bags. Now, some people use the vinyl for the project bags. I haven't tried that yet. I do plan on, doing some with those, but that's something that you can always use. So I like to have it in my stash. And along with that, I wanted to buy some more. I found some fabrics. I was waiting in line, waiting for the fabric to be cut. And the fabric was also 30% off. So as I was waiting, I came across some of these very beautiful fabrics, the one you're looking at. This one is called Daydream Kitties, and it's number 74891. And I just love this print. I think that would, it's just really cute. And so I'm thinking of making maybe some project bags with it. but I'll see what else I can do with it. And along with that one, I bought this one, which seems similar to that one. Great for spring, but I love these little characters. Just super, super cute. So definitely, you know, kids quilt that would work great. I also found some other remnants. And this one has some verses. And what I plan to do with this one is just attach some other fabric to it that'll coordinate with the color scheme here, and then create some small book covers with it, prayer books or any kind of book. I also found this one along the same lines, but this one I think would make a great table runner for the Thanksgiving table. And it has all these verses on there. And then, but what I'm going to do, so that since it's directional, I'm going to find a way to cut it and sew it back together again so that each person at the table can see one of the verses depending on where you're sitting at. So I just love the colors, and I have plenty of fabric in my stash to go ahead and finish that off. So I think that's all of the fabrics that I got, and that was my goal. Well, I did find some other supplies, and like I said, I've taken everything out because I thought my camera was recording and it wasn't. But I did find these other two tools, and this is just simple. This is a needle case. Let me see. Yeah, a magnetic needle case. But I might add some sticky tape to part of it and also keep my beads on there for my cross stitch. And it's small and handy, so yeah, I thought that was a good price for $1.99. And then also this needle case or pin case, but it looks like a lipstick, and it works really well. It comes in very handy. It's small and protects your things from the sharp points, so I thought that was great. I'm also already wearing some of the other things that I got. I got this watch bumper. I'm a Peanuts fan, and so this was $3.99. These were not on sale. And a little bracelet, and this was $7.99. So that was a lot of fun. Now for the Easter stuff. So I don't know, I showed it in the last video, but what happened was I was going in for some sewing supplies, quilting supplies, and I ended up seeing that they had 75% off on their Easter. So I decided to check it out, and I was happy that I did. I did find some things. I don't have it here in front of me, but I did purchase that topiary bunny, and wasn't really sure if I was going to get it, so I rode around with it in my cart, and I saw another lady with it in her cart, and I thought, well, that's pretty impressive, so I decided to get it. And so that was one of the things that I purchased. That was one of the bigger purchases. And then I found these. These are pastel eggs, but they're kind of like a soft blow mold. And so I think these will be great to craft. They kind of have that nostalgic feel to them. And so I bought a couple of these. I did get this egg coloring tong. I think it's handy to have that. We do color our eggs. And then I did find these carrots. Okay, and I'm thinking of maybe adding some sequins to them, but these can also probably be used for fall because of the fabric. I found these napkin rings. So, you know, all these were at a very good price because they were 75% off. And I think I got there when they had just switched over to that. This was yesterday, April 9th. I found these eggs, and so I think these would be great to display in my booth. So, you know, everything was 75% off, with the exception of candy. I did get just one bag of candy. So like things that were normally $2.49 were $1.24, $5.99, $1.50, $6.99, $1.75. So just a great deal overall. And then finally, for that purchase, I did buy 2 of these. And I think these would be great to use in a centerpiece. I think they're supposed to be placemats, but I would not use them like that. I'd probably attach 2 of them if I could, if I had wanted like a long table runner. I think it would be great to just place some Easter goodies on there. But I could also use it at my booth for display purposes. Okay, so that's Hobby Lobby. And I don't go that often. Usually I go to look for things that I need, but it just so happened that there was a sale. Oh, along with that, I did find, you know, and I bought some other things that I needed, storage containers and such. But I did find these Easter napkins, and these were $1.75. No. These are originally $8.49. So these were ended up being $2.12, which is amazing. And the reason I bought these is that I had already found these really cute napkins, and I think that they would complement them pretty well. But it kind of feels like that, these feel like they're from the 80s, right? And I thought this shade of blue would complement them, because I'm thinking of taking a couple of these and making either 1 or 2, and making either just a topper for the table, because it's a really cute print. Okay, a topper for the table, or make another runner. And I do small quilting projects. I do have some larger ones, but I like to do the small ones because I can do them a little bit faster, and it's just fun to decorate with them. Okay, and then before that I stopped at Target, but oh, just a couple more things, sorry. Okay, so I also found these place card holders, but I like to use these just to add maybe a Easter card and just display them on these. They don't go very deep. They don't go in very deep, so you know I'm gonna have to be careful with what I decide. But you know, I might be able to attach something and then just display it that way. So they come in handy. All right, and then before that I stopped at Target, and I knew that, I think I was watching Sway's Deals on YouTube, and I think he's based off California, but apparently Target was going to put their stuff at 70% off. Well, they weren't at 70 off, but I did find a couple of things. I found this little bucket, and this was $2.50, was half off. But it's like a blow mold bucket, so I like to collect Easter buckets, even though we don't have young kids anymore. I still like to collect them and display with them. I found this small Matchbox Peeps, so I thought that was cute for my Easter display. And then I did find some of this edible grass on sale, and it has a pretty good shelf life. So the one that I have, I can't use it anymore. And then this is something that you can use, you know, throughout the year, depending on how you want to use it for your decoration, right? And then the last thing I purchased there, they only had 2 of these, but see, I would love to find this kind of mesh. See that? It's small enough so that you can see through pretty clearly, but sturdy. And so I haven't been able to find one. I know Annie's has some and I have purchased those, but I wanted to find something this small in terms of the surface, and I haven't been able to find anything close to it. So if you're familiar with it, please let me know in the comments. But these are, I know someone showed these. I saw these, someone showing these. They're packing cubes, but I'm going to use them for my quilting projects. So projects that are in progress, they're roomy enough, and you know, it's they can breathe. The fabrics can breathe. They're also protected from dust. And so it was two. They were both the set of two for $2.50. Originally they were $5, but I think I'm gonna enjoy using these. Okay, everyone. Well, I think that's it for my. Well, actually, there's one more thing, and then I'll stop. I do love to use napkins for decoupage. Now, this is from TJ Maxx, and they had they didn't have a sale or anything. This was prior to Easter, just before Easter. But I did find these beautiful napkins. This one, okay, all these I believe are from, I think it's Celebrate the Home is the brand, Celebrate the Home. But they're made in Germany, and so there's just something about the napkins in terms of the color saturation that I really love. So there's another one, cute design. And this is the last one here. And this one has two designs. Let me take one out. So it's this one here, and I love this little bunny. And then on the back it has these other two bunnies there with the butterfly. And they're all made from they're the same company. And I'll show you real quickly. Just take my microphone off so I don't drag your phone with me. What I've been working on. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I'm making these small decorative containers, and this is just the beginning. I've shown some other videos where I've shown you what I've done with them, but I really love, you see how beautiful that looks on the surface. This is what I have. I still have a long ways to go, but I just love making projects like these. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you for joining me. I do have another video that I'll go ahead and share. I'm going to try to do it today. But this other video is on some of my Easter collection. And I'm getting ready to store it. And before I store it, I wanted to share it with you. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.